Welcome to Creating Cooperative Kids. I'm your host, Bill Corbett. Cyberbullying is defined as the use of electronic communication to bully a person, typically by sending messages of an intimidating or threatening nature. Now, according to a survey conducted by the American Osteopathic Association in 2011, 52% of parents surveyed reported being worried that their child will be bullied via social networking sites, and for very good reason. Now according to the Pew Internet Research Center, 95% of social media using teens who have witnessed cruel behavior on social networking sites say they have witnessed it happening while others ignored the mean behavior. So in the studio with me today to shed some light on this growing problem is Scott Driscoll, a former law enforcement officer who has dedicated much of his life to internet safety. He's the co-author of the book www.areyouindanger.net, a must-read guide for children and adults in this digital age. Now, Mr. Driscoll is the president of the Internet Safety Concepts, an organization dedicated to helping families learn about being safe while still being able to use the internet and other technology. Thanks for being here, Scott.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I attended one of your sessions. It was probably almost a year ago, and that's where I saw you speak, and you did a fantastic job to the parents. And I'm not sure if you remember, I came up afterwards with all the other parents who had questions, and I said, you got to come on my show.
And we've been trying since then to make it happen, so I'm glad I'm here.
This is information we really need to get out to a lot of families. So we're going to do the whole show today with you, and I want to start off with cyberbullying. Okay. Now, in the startup, I revealed what cyberbullying really is, but I want to talk a little bit more about how you've got involved in it and things that you do to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Well, when I do my presentations and I talk to kids about cyberbullying and today's technology, one of the biggest things I do is listen to the kids. They share their concerns with me. They talk to me after the presentations, during or before, and say, we're having problems with this app, with this program. And I always tell them, teach me, what are the problems that you're having? And a lot of it is the mean behavior. A lot of it is they don't know who to turn to. They're being mistreated and they're not sure which game plan or what's the reaction they should have. Some of them, they have a knee-jerk reaction and they say, I've got to defend myself, I've got to do this, I've got to protect who I am. Other ones just kind of think it'll go away, and sometimes because of the way cyber technology works, it doesn't go away. So my thing on cyberbullying is mainly I learn from the kids and I listen to the kids that I work with and the problems that they're facing. And it is a growing problem. It's happening all the time.
Do you find that cyberbullying is the predator, if you will, or the assertive or aggressive person, is somebody they know or somebody they don't know?
It's both.
It is.
What happens a lot of times is one kid might be the target in a school system, in a neighborhood, and everybody seems to join on, and it goes from all different walks of life. And the reason being is we hide behind a screen. When I was growing up, the bully was the biggest kid, and he got away with whatever he wanted because he was the biggest kid and can intimidate and fear by his presence. Now behind a screen, with our words and our demeanors, anybody can instill fear. And that's why we're seeing such a big growth of it. Is there ways we can deal with it? Absolutely. But I think as parents and adults, we have to realize it's not the same bullying that we dealt with when we were a kid. When I was picked on as a kid, if I was home, I locked the door, take the phone off the hook, I was good. I wasn't bothered by the bully. Well, today's technology, as great as it is and a lot of positives to it, one thing that happens, we're always able to be communicated with. And if someone's going through some stressful times and their self-esteem is low and they're being picked on a lot, every text message that comes through, they get worried. Is it someone that's a friend? Is it someone that's picking on me? It adds a lot of stress that sometimes I think as adults we don't understand what they're going through because we never experienced it that way.
And I think we find, what I found is first of all, with bullying, and it's a slightly different problem because I think, like you said, when we were young, we'd go home, lock the door, and we're fine because there was no electronic communication. And a lot of us also went home to our mother ironing, watching General Hospital, but now the moms are working and they have to work. So kids we've got a lot of latchkey kids. Yep. So in the sense of bullying on its own, I think what experts say is, you teach kids to stand strong and say no and scream no, and as long as we can disarm kids from being victims, and bullies have no prey. But it's a little bit different online, isn't it?
It is, because everybody's communicating and everybody has access to each other. It's not like I would have to look up your phone number, know where you live when we were growing up. Today, I just Google search somebody and it shows me their Facebook page, their Twitter account. I can ask or request them on Instagram. And if used properly, it's a great way to communicate. It's the way that we do communicate these days. But it's so easy to cross that line in the blink of an eye because, one, we don't see the impact of our words. A lot of people don't bully and aren't mean to each other because they wouldn't say it to someone's face. They see the impact of their words. If I say something mean to you, I'm going to see a whole presence about you. And if I didn't mean it, I would say, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize about that. On a screen, I don't see the impact of my words, and that's why it really goes to a different level.
Is there certain applications, certain channels that we see cyberbullying happen more often than not?
If there's communication, it's
as long as
available. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of great apps, a lot of great programs that when used properly offer us a world of entertainment, communication, and when used properly, they're a good resource for us. It's unfortunate when we see things in the blink of an eye just turn.
What about age brackets? Does it happen to some ages more than others? Trying to give parents some guidelines of what they should be watching for, knowing how old their kids are. What do you think?
I don't think there's an age. I really don't. I work with middle school, elementary school kids. They're experiencing it. I go all the way up to college, and the college students will tell me, we're still experiencing this. And when I go talk to companies, end of my presentation, adults will come to me and say, my boss is doing that to me via email. The way he talks to me, it's almost like a bullying situation. And it's unfortunate because if we get mad or frustrated, if we're typing something, we might throw all that mad and aggression into it. Not meaning to, we might throw something out there, and all of a sudden we realize afterwards, that might not have been the best way to word it. Well, it's too late, it's already out there.
What about impact? You know, I'm guessing we may have some parents who say, oh, don't worry about it, buddy. Just get over it. Just ignore them, you know. But there are impacts to cyberbullying if it's not handled effectively, right?
Absolutely. Cyberbullying can be a long-term thing because depending on what website's being used, what app, what program, the images and the comments can be permanent. So even though a child might say, okay, I can put this behind us, couple years, they might search their name and that whole incident might reoccur. And unfortunately, what we're seeing in the news and worldwide is young people not knowing who to turn to and not knowing how to deal with it, harming themselves and having a severe consequence that goes along with this. Now, I'm sure if a child is harming themselves, there's more than just that one cyberbullying issue. There's a lot to it. But I tried to put myself in a kid's shoes, and if I was being picked on and I wasn't feeling good from every angle it was coming, I'm not sure if I would be able to deal with that myself. So what I always tell kids is know the people you can trust and get the right people involved. Your best friend's mom or dad, your parents, your school principal, psychologist. Get somebody that you trust and say, I need help or I know someone that needs help. And if we get involved, I think we can make a big difference.
In your experience, and any idea why some kids would be apprehensive to reveal to a caregiver or an adult that something like this is going on?
A couple things. The stigmatism of being a narc or a snitch. Kids are developing who they are, and they're trying to figure out what they want to be and who their friends are. So if someone tells on someone, they have that stigmatism of, you might be a tattletale. I think it's completely wrong. If you tell an adult, I think someone might need help, you're a hero. You're actually helping someone that might need that extra support, that extra push. And I think getting involved is a good thing. I think it's a challenge for kids because maybe they're using an app where their parents said, hey, you can't use that. And now they become a victim. What do? Do I tell my parents I broke their rules, but I really think I need help? That's a tough balancing act. So one of the things I always tell my kids in my own home, we have our rules. Even if you violate them, if you think your safety is in concern, tell me. We can deal with all the consequences, but your safety is the first priority. So a lot of kids say, I can't tell my parents I'm using that app. They'll kill me. That just opens up more problems.
Do you think that some kids might be afraid that they will become the victim if they become aware of it, that they'll now be the target of the bullies? It
does happen sometimes, and that's unfortunate. Where if someone stands up from their friends, the aggression could turn to that student. That's why I think I always take a we approach to cyberbullying or any kind of bullying. It's not a one kid that can do it. It's not a one bystander that can help. If we all put efforts into it together, we can make a difference. Adults, people that work in schools, community people, and the kids. I think we can do a big thing with it.
What are your suggestions to parents if they become aware, or do you have suggestions for parents on how to check in to see if anything like that's going on?
Well, I think the first thing parents need to be aware of is what programs or apps their kids are using. And if it's communication with people, if it's just games are okay to a point. If there's a way that you can communicate over an app, parents should be aware of what those apps are and who our children are communicating with, first and foremost. Not saying they can't use it, because a lot of them have good applications, but be aware of who they're communicating with. And then start the dialogue right from the get-go. If you use this and you have problems, I'm the first person you talk to. We'll work on it together. And as a parent, jump on the sword. I don't know a lot about it. We'll learn together, but we know how to keep you safe. We've just got to work at it. And I'm all for open communication. Does it solve all the problems? No. And it's easier said than done sometimes, I get that. But if my kid feels comfortable coming and talking to me, if I don't have an answer, I could call my local police department. Hey, my child is being treated this way. Is it against the law? Is there anything we can do? And you can start the ball rolling for help.
See, I think that's what you just touched on is really important, to developing the relationship first. Because if you've got a good relationship with your child and he or she feels comfortable coming to you, even if they screw up and make a mistake, then that's going to be a wide open door for communication. But if you're yelling and screaming and punishing, no child's going to want to subject themselves to that.
And that is easier said than done.
Yeah.
As a parent, I know I've raised my voice sometimes and said, why did I even take that approach? Easier said than done. But when it comes to allowing our children access to this technology, we have to be able to have that communication so we can think about safety, because we take it for granted. It's so cool, and in the blink of an eye, we're communicating with people. And some of those people just may not have the same nice intentions that most of us have.
I tell parents, and I don't know how you feel about this, and we only got a minute to go, but
Okay.
To place kids' computers out in a common area where parents can easily see, rather than let them hide behind the bedroom door, they're more likely to maybe share stuff with you if they're out on the dining room table rather than behind their
My rule
bedroom.
has always been public place, but our challenge now is the mobile technology. Because now we have the smartphones and we have all the devices, so the kids are moving away from computers to the apps and everything.
Yep.
Same rule can still apply. Hey, if you're going to use it, come on out here.
Yeah. Okay, well, good. Thank you so much. Stay on. We're gonna take a break. In fact, we're gonna show some PSAs over our breaks that can really help parents and inform them as well about how serious of a problem this really is.
Sounds good.
One aspect of the internet where cyberbullying can take place is social media. Now, when we come back for our break, I'm going to ask Scott to educate us on the latest social media channels and the risks to kids and teens associated with them. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Any guys want to take photos?
Someone I can trust?
Someone I can
Rose to cowboy.
I'm 16, so whisper to me.
It's fun talking to you like this. It's so cool when you say whisper.
Be honest, you can trust me.
So you like my picture? I want to see yours. This is too wild.
I think I like you.
You're someone I can trust. Okay?
Completely. I'm 16. I'm all about love and trust. Trust me.
I can't believe you want to see me.
So this girl broke my heart. But you're so hot.
And so sweet.
My name is Walter, and I like to hang out in teen chat rooms. It's so easy to romance them, get them to trust me, or get them alone.
Do you like roses?
I love roses.
I can be anywhere your kid has access to the internet, and be anyone they want me to be.
Hey, Rose. Cowboy here. I'll bring you a rose.
Rose, wanna meet?
Think about girls?
All the time.
Parents, you should really talk to your kids about internet safety. But hey, if you're too busy, that's not a problem. I'm always available.